Shweta, we can start.
We'll start. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to IIFL webinars. The topic for discussion today is the upcoming NCD issue by IIFL Home Finance, through which it will raise capital from investors for business expansion. The issue will open on July 6th and close on July 28th. Our panelists for the session are Mr. Monu Ratra, CEO and ED, IIFL Home Finance Limited, and Mr. Subhajit Ray, our product head. To give a perspective about the company, IIFL Home Finance Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of IIFL Finance and is a registered housing finance company with National Housing Bank, that is NHB, and is engaged in the business of home loans, secured business loans, and affordable housing project finance loan. IIFL Home Finance Limited has a long-term credit rating of AA by CRISIL, AA plus by Brickwork. We are here to talk about the upcoming NCD issue by IIFL Home Finance. So, to begin with, I would request Mr. Subhajit Ray to kindly brief us about the product. Also, you can write your queries in the comment box and we will answer these towards the end of the session. Over to you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you, Shweta. Good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And let me welcome you all to this webinar of Housing Finance NCD. And I believe the kind of always the patience and the trust that you have already shown to us, to IIFL Group. Really, we wanted to convey our heartfelt thanks to all of you. Now, if I really talking about this NCD and why there is a real need of this NCD, if you typically talk about the interest rate, which is really going down, and for any investor or set of a customers, where I want to take a fixed income product over, say, a longer horizon or longer period of time, where I can get to know sitting from today for next 5 years or 7 years, where I should be getting a fixed rate of interest or the coupon for over next 5 to 7 years. Now, if as a customer, if I try to think and try to match that, which are those products which are available into the market, the first which is comes in our mind, which is a fixed deposit product. Now, if you really see the way fixed deposit product for any banking or NBFC or housing finance or other companies has dropped, the yield has dropped significantly. Now, what is that the option that we have for our customers? What kind of an option that we have for our retired personnel who has just retired and probably wanted to plan for next 10 years, 15 years? So I believe this is a wonderful product with a non-convertible debenture NCDs, which has been issued by a housing finance company. Now, if I talk about IIFL as a group, IIFL is over more than 26 years. It is a financial conglomerate. We have various set of a business starting from AMC, wealth management, broking, and one of the most largest and most prominent franchisee, which is your housing finance company. So here we have started and we have underwritten the product for all our customers for the 7 years product. As Manu, the time he will brief about the organization, and we will quickly also come back to you about the product, rate of interest, and other details. But one thing I really wanted to make sure and wanted to convey to all of you. Now, if you wanted to take a fixed deposit and book your yield for over next 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years, you have to pay a TDS. These NCDs are tradable in exchanges. Hence, there is no TDS is applied there. Number two, if you wanted to sell, this product is typically for 87 months. Now, if you wish to exit before 87 months, it is possible. So the liquidity is also there. Number three, if you wanted to exit before 87 months, say for an example, at 86 months, you wanted to exit. So you will only get the capital gain tax onto it. Under this circumstances, what I believe as a product head from IIFL Securities is one of the best blended products for every set of customer, where you wanted to have actually out of every 100 rupees, probably you should put 30 to 40% of your wallet share to the fixed income product. In this fixed income product, this is part as one of the best as an asset class. Thank you so much. I would request Manu to throw some lights about the IIFL HFC and talk about the issues more.
Thank you, Subhajit. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shweta, as well. Namaskar, and thank you so much for joining on Saturday morning. Really feel very obliged that you took a time out on a Saturday morning as well. Just wanted to give you a small brief about IIFL Home Finance. We got our license in 2009, and we have had a pretty good journey. And if you look at our growth in the last 5 years, since 2015, we had a book of about 5,500 crores. And today our AUM is 20,700 crores as of March 21. So it's been nearly just short of a 4-time jump in our AUM. So we have had last 5 to 7 years, which has shown a very brisk growth in our book as well. Now, what is so different about us and how do we stand out vis-a-vis the competition is very important for you to know. So we are focused on affordable housing loans, where an average ticket sizes of home loans is 17 lakhs. That is the segment we operate in. And this, if you are all aware, the present government has had a very flagship program of theirs called Housing for All. So that's been quite a moving project launched in 2015. But now it has really, in the last few years, really gathered a huge momentum. Under this Housing for All, government took up a lot of initiatives, both on the demand side and the supply side as well. For the demand side, they came up with the CLSS subsidy scheme, which enabled the customers, especially the segment in which we operate, a subsidy to the extent of 2.6 lakhs, which is a very handsome amount, which contribution comes from the government. And you'll be happy to know that we are one of the, I would say, the significant players under the subsidy scheme. We have given the subsidy to over 43,000 customers worth 1,000 crores, which makes us amongst the top 7 players amongst banks and HFCs put together, who has been able to garner such amount of subsidy to people. So which subsidy really encourages, so demand has really got bulged because of this subsidy, affordability becoming much easier for people to own these houses like never before. Because as per the 2011 census, there was a requirement of 2 crore homes only in the urban areas. So this is 2011. 10 years later, I'm sure this demand would have even further increased. So as far as the demand side is concerned, it is such a huge demand that still there is a huge gap between people owning the homes and the financing partners, more the merrier. The second aspect, which has been our one of the founding pillars, has been technology. We are today 100% of our home loans are onboarded and decisioned on tab, which is very unique to us. It doesn't happen with, at least we are not aware, any other HFC also taking over this entire journey end to end the way we do. What does this technology provide us? This technology provides us that we are able to keep our OPEX very much in control vis-a-vis other housing finance companies. Number 2, the productivity of our people is way higher than the others, which makes our entire operating expenses very, very attractive, which is a very, very important component for a retail business and which is very cost sensitive as well. And secondly, the other aspect is the credit quality. Because for any lending institution, apart from being able to give out loans, their ability to get back the recoveries and keep the credit costs in check is very essential for the overall profitability of the organization. So there again, we have stood this test of time of last 5 years, where our credit quality has been pretty much within the norms. On the AUM basis, our GNPA stands at 1.72% only. Vis-a-vis the industry, we stand pretty well in terms of the GNPAs as well. So if you see, we are in a segment which has a huge demand, ever-growing demand. We have operational capabilities which keeps our profit, the OPEX very, very low, and the credit cost very much in check. So now, to take this to the next level, we are seeking this NCD issue to come our way, which will be consumed as a tier 2 capital, which will boost our capital, which will enable us to further able to grow our book significantly. Also, the other aspect which I wanted to share is that we are present in 125 branches spread over 120 locations. So we are present across the country, and in few states we have a deeper presence. For example, states like Gujarat, MPCG, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh, where we have a deeper presence even at a district level as well. So we have a very significant presence also there. The other aspect is how have been our financial performance. I think that is very important for you to understand and appreciate. So we are an organized, one of the few HFCs which have ROEs of upwards of 20%, ROAs of upwards of 2.5%, which if you, some of you are aware of this industry, these are very, very healthy numbers for any HFC to have on a continuous basis. And last year's our PAT was over 400 crores. For a book size of 20,700 crores with a PAT of 400 crores, ROE of more than 20%, ROAs of more than 2.5% makes us an interesting proposition on the financial parameter side as well. Overall, if you see the last 5 years, we have seen different events happening in this country, starting from demonetization in 2016. Then you had this financial crisis which came about, which caused the liquidity issues. GST was launched, and then NBFC banking situation was very tight. Then you have COVID for the last 1.5 years. In spite of these 5 years, we have withstood the test of time. Our AUM has been growing, which I told you from 2016. We have grown from 5,500 crores to 20,700 crores. Our profit, which used to be somewhere in the range of 110 crores PAT, today we are at 400 crores PAT. ROEs are looking very steady at upwards of 20%, ROAs at 2.5%. GNPAs have also not shown unreasonable spike. Rather, last year, looking at the situation, we really created a lot of provisions in our books so that we could, where a provision coverage ratio is over 100% at the GNPA level as well. So which makes us a very stable and a resilient organization to withstand any kind of a shock. Now, we feel that this is a situation very nicely poised. Yes, we all understand this is a second wave which has come by. How are things going to pan out? But relative to the last wave, I think this was a wave which was very, very adverse, impacted a lot of people. But at the same time, interestingly, it was a very short stint. It was a 45 to 60 day thing. It spiked. So it has a shortened cycle, but a more prominent impact which is there. So leave aside the human loss, which I'm sure all of us have had a very somber situation the last 2 months, but the ability to revive quickly is really helping the cause. So we feel the affordable housing segment we operate in has a bright future. And if any organization which is able to process these loans at a very competitive price, very competitive costs, and keep the credit cost in check, has a amazingly bright future as well. And also the fact that we have the our liabilities profile. If you see, 37% of our liabilities is supported by bank loans, 34% by the direct assignment. That means we keep on doing the sell down of our portfolio because 95% of our home loans are all priority sector compliant. So there is a huge demand of our priority sector home loans especially by the PSU banks. So all in all, the liquidity has been good. That's why we've been able to grow the AUM. Last year also, we were able to grow the AUM by more than 12%, whereas some of the HFCs had a negative AUM growth as well. So liquidity has been very much there. The credit performance has been good, and the profitability has seen an upside. So all in all, we feel we are nicely poised to take this forward. And if we have a support and contribution from all of you, I'm sure we can make this journey even bigger and take it to the next level. So now I will just share the product details, and then if there are any questions, we'll take it from there. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is an issue size of 1,000 crores, and it's an unsecured subordinated redeemable NCD of a face value of 1,000 each. This is primarily for our tier 2 capital, which will boost our capital. And usually the leverage in HFCs is anywhere between 5 to 7 times. So it's really great if we can boost our capital to help us to leverage more and go to able to further grow our book. The coupon is 10%, which already Subhajit has mentioned. Tenure is 87 months. Credit rating is mentioned to you. Primarily, these proceeds would be used for onward lending for growing the book. And the tranche 1 issue opens on 6th of July and finishes on 28th of July. There are 3 options here: annual, monthly, and cumulative. And minimum application money is 10,000. And you can see the coupons for yourself. You can double your money in 87 months. So all in all, we feel it's a very attractive rates which we are offering here, especially in the current environment. And opportunity for you to invest in a company which is been resilient in the last most toughest of years. I am sure anybody would have seen in the last 3 to 5 years, and has a very healthy profit numbers as well. So that will be all from my side. Now we can have the house open for any questions, and we can take it from there. Thank you. Back to you, Shweta.
Kindly write in your questions in the chat box or in the Q&A section. We will take up the questions.
Till we have the questions, I will add some more facets also of our business. Recently, this RBI's one product came out was co-lending. So I think that's another great opportunity for an institution like us, where we are trying to partner the banks to be able to source this business from them with sharing of the risk as well. That is another very, I would say, a very tipping point in this lending industry, especially in the housing finance industry, where the distribution and the product speciality of company like ours is going to synergize with the bank's balance sheet. So it could be a very, very great story, and the growth potentials can be exponential to take this business to the next level. So we feel that housing, especially the affordable housing where we are present, it is a very resilient demand. It is not very fluctuating. It's a need-based product which people need at all the points in time. And yeah. So I think the first question.
Yeah. So the question is, will I get any interest if I sell it in 80 months?
See, if you have, it's a very, very nice question. Say, for an example, if you have opted out for the monthly coupon, where every month end you will get the coupon. Even in case of the annually also you will start getting that, but the time you will sell it, you will immediately get that. You can sell it to the exchanges, whether it is an NSE and BSE, and you can do that.
Yes, so another question that we are getting on YouTube Live is, may this bond be redeemed before maturity? If yes, how?
So maturity, say for an example, within the 87 months, it is a period of the particular tenure of this instrument, but you will be always, it is also tradable under the exchange of NSE and BSE. I'm sure this liquidity will not be very, very high, where you will have the larger amount of buyer and seller to take this particular bond. But yes, having said that, there are also quite a few good amount of liquidities are also there. You can sell and in exchanges also.
Is this a secured bond?
No, it is not a secured bond. It is unsecured Tier 2 capital bond. Subordinate debt.
Any TDS on interest?
So as it is, as I said at the beginning of this discussion, it is hosted in exchange for trading purposes. So hence there is no TDS which will be deducted from the sources.
Is it allowed to pledge to collateral by other brokers such as Zerodha?
It is allowed to trade, take a pledge in other broker, but however, for the customer of IIFL Securities cannot pledge it, because it is our own writing book or the product which has been comprises and written by IIFL as a group, and hence we cannot fund on the same instrument.
Home finance is getting cheaper. How are you able to offer higher interest rate?
Yeah, so if definitely, sir, the home finance business is getting competitive in terms of rates are concerned. As far as this particular offering is concerned, if you will see our cost of funds, which we have seen last year, came down from 9.2 to 8.5, and incrementally it is 8% or sometimes even sub 8% also. As far as this particular offering is concerned, the first thing is it is unsecured. Second is it is a 7-year money. Third thing is it is going to be used in Tier 2 capital by us. So if you see that to have capital at this price, I think it is pretty much on. It should not have an impact. And moreover, you are able to leverage your capital, at least as of now we are leveraged 6 times. So easily this can be leveraged 5-6 times more. So effective cost to us being tier 2 capital would become effectively very competitive for us. So I think this is just one of those attributes in our entire liabilities plan, and this is getting added in the capital itself. So I don't think that this has any financial downside to us overall. For any other, had it been just a simple term loan or an NCD, then I'm sure this question could have been more valid. But being tier 2, we are happy with it.
We are using this NCD funds for home loan customers. If yes, then what is the rate of interest for home loan? 10% are we giving?
Right. Yeah. So again, this is in continuation of my previous answer. I'm saying this is a tier 2 capital which gets added, right? And I'm sure all of you are worthy investors. You would appreciate what is usually the cost of capital you take when you have to raise the money. So it is way above that. So keeping that in mind, this is not a loan per se. This is adding to my tier 2 capital. So it is one of those options of funding, but that's not the sole option. If today also I would have to raise my capital, otherwise I'm sure it would be done at a very decent price to be able to raise the money. And we had a lot of headroom in tier 2 capital. So why not raise your tier 2 capital now? Because we see a very bright future, and we need to create that capital for our faster growth.
Is indexation allowed if redeemed before maturity?
Yes, it is possible, sir. And Shweta, there was another question I probably have not answered the way it's any face value after listing. So what essentially happens that if you see typically the face value tend to go down after any point in time your interest being stripped out. And after that, you will find that price is going little down. And at the same point in time, whenever you calculate the total pricing of the bond, you have to always keep in mind the face value, the interest that you are earning, whether it is a monthly mode, whether it's an annual mode, is a total composition of the face value, which is also been traded into the exchanges as well.
Any call option or company can redeem before maturity?
No. There is no call option given by the company where company can call back this. It is 87 months secure, 87 months product where company is bound to pay you 10% coupon for annual mode.
Monu, I think we are done with the questions. However, there was one request that if you could just, brief the session in Hindi. Just the gist of the session in Hindi, people want to understand in Hindi.
There is a last question. What is a tax implication?
Tax implication.
The last tax implication again, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था शर्मा जी कि अगर आप मंथली मोड में लेते हैं जो कि ना 9.6% कूपन है, एज ये आपका एक्सचेंज में ट्रेडेबल होगा, ये बॉन्ड आपको एक्सचेंज में मिल जाएगा, इसीलिए आपको कोई टीडीएस नहीं आएगा आपके पास. आप मान लीजिए कि 87 मंथ्स की पहले 86 मंथ्स पे अगर आप एग्जिट करना चाहते हैं एंड एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम अगर आपको लगता है एक्सचेंज में कोई भी बायर और सेलर खड़ा है जहां पे आप बेच सकते हैं, उसमें भी आपको सिर्फ कैपिटल गेन टैक्स आएगा, आपके लिए कोई टीडीएस काटा नहीं जाएगा.
जी, शुड आई श्वेता?
श्योर.
या जी, माफी चाहता हूं कि मैंने नहीं बात की, लेकिन शुक्रिया आपका ये सवाल उठाने के लिए कि हिंदी में मैं उसको एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. जी, तो सबसे पहले मैं कंपनी के बारे में बताना चाहूंगा कि हम एक हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनी है जिसको एनएचबी से लाइसेंस मिला 2009 के अंदर, और पिछले 5 से 7 सालों का अगर आप हमारा ट्रैक देखें तो हमने अपनी किताब को काफी ठीक ठाक तेजी से बढ़ाया भी है. 2016 मार्च 2016 में हमारी किताब 5,500 करोड़ की थी कि टोटल एसेट्स अंडर मैनेजमेंट 5,500 करोड़ के थे, और मार्च 21 को वो 20,700 करोड़ के एसेट्स अंडर मैनेजमेंट हुए. तो काफी अच्छी ग्रोथ रही है पिछले 5 साल में. और हमारी जो किताब है उसमें 70% जो लोन है वो हाउसिंग लोन है, 26% लोन हमारे एसएमई सिक्योर्ड लोन है, और 4% हमारे हैं जो हम अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स में हम लोन देते हैं. तो हमारा जो फोकस रहता है वो अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग की तरफ रहता है, जिसमें जो हमारा एवरेज टिकट साइज है वो 17 लाख रुपए ही है, क्योंकि हमारे को लगता है कि ये एक ऐसा सेगमेंट है जो हमेशा डिमांड में रहता है. कई बार लग्जरी हाउसिंग में ऊंच नीच आती रहती है, प्राइसेस में बड़ा चढ़ाव उतराव आते रहते हैं, लेकिन ये बड़ा कंसिस्टेंट रहता है क्योंकि ये इंसान का पहला घर होता है और अपने उस पहले घर से उसका अक्सर काफी लगाव रहता ही है, उसकी फैमिली और बच्चे वहां रहते हैं। तो सरकार ने 2015 में एक मुहिम चलाई थी जिसको हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल कहा जाता है, जिसके अंतर्गत सरकार ने एक सब्सिडी स्कीम चलाई जिसको क्रेडिट लिंक सब्सिडी स्कीम कहा जाता है, CLSS, अंडर प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना। उससे इस इंडस्ट्री को बहुत सारा प्रोत्साहन मिला है और बहुत सारा इसमें डिमांड में बढ़ोतरी हुई है। अब अगर आप इमेजिन करके देखें कि जो कोई 18-20 लाख का घर ले रहा है और उसको 2.6 लाख वापस हो जाते हैं, तो उसका तो कितना सारा, लगभग देखा जाए तो 12-13% का लोन भी कम हो जाता है और उससे उसकी किस्त भी कम हो जाती है, तो उसको बहुत आसान हो जाता है घर लेना। हमें काफी लोगों को लगेगा कि ये 2.5 लाख रुपए ज्यादा नहीं है, पर उस सेगमेंट के लिए 2.5 लाख रुपए बहुत बड़ी चीज है। उससे क्या हुआ है कि डिमांड सडनली इस सेगमेंट में बहुत बढ़ गई है। जो लोग पहले सोचते रह जाते थे, आज वो लोन लेना चाहते हैं। और हमने एक और जो चीज बड़ी ऑब्जर्व की है, हिंदुस्तान को यंगेस्ट नेशन इन द वर्ल्ड कहा जाता है कि भाई 35 साल से कम उम्र के लोग सबसे ज्यादा है दुनिया में यहाँ। तो वो जो हमारी जो एवरेज एज है आज की डेट में, वो वही 28 से 35 साल में है लोग जो घर ले रहे हैं। तो आप मान सकते हैं कि कितनी डिमांड है लोगों की कि इस एज ग्रुप में इतने सारे लोग हैं जो घर लेना चाहते हैं और उनकी क्षमता भी है लेने की, और सरकार की वजह से वो क्षमता और बढ़ गई है। एक तो ये बात हुई कि डिमांड बहुत ही अच्छी है। दूसरी बात है कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत सहारा ले रहे हैं, क्योंकि अगर आपको आज की डेट में दो चीजें हैं, आपका एक कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड है कि आपको किस ब्याज दर पे आप अपने फंड्स रेज करते हैं, दूसरा है कि कितने कम से कम खर्चे में आप लोन को प्रोसेस कर सकते हैं। तो उसके अंदर हमने टेक्नोलॉजी का सहारा लिया है। अगर आप लोगों को मालूम हो, IIFL हमेशा टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर हमेशा आगे रहा है दुनिया बाकी प्लेयर से। वो हमारा शेयर ब्रोकिंग क्यों ना हो या हमारा जो जो अदर लोन्स प्रोडक्ट्स क्यों ना हो, तो इसी तरह हाउसिंग लोन में भी हम काफी लोगों से दूसरों से अलग हैं। हमारा लड़का जो सेल्स वाला है आपके पास आएगा और 40 मिनट के अंदर अंदर बगैर किसी फिजिकल पेपर के लिए आपको लोन का फैसला देकर ही उठता है। जो एक इंडस्ट्री में एक पहल की हमने, जिससे बहुत जल्दी से लोगों को प्रोत्साहन मिला और वो चाहते हैं कि कन्वीनियंटली हमें लोन मिले। साथ में ही हमने 43,000 लोगों से ज्यादा लोगों को सब्सिडी का लाभ दिलाया है, जो 1,050 करोड़ के बराबर का पैसा सरकार से हमने लोगों को दिलवाया है, जो कि काफी देखा जाए तो हमारे को टॉप 7 प्लेयर्स के अंदर देता है। तो एक तरफ हमारा प्रोसेस बड़ा स्मूथ है, दूसरी तरफ हमारी सब्सिडी लोगों को दिलवाने की क्षमता अच्छी है। तीसरा, हमने ये देखा है कि हमारा जो पिछले 3-5 साल में बहुत उतार चढ़ाव आए लोगों की, बहुत डिमोनेटाइजेशन हुआ, GST आया, फिर उसके बाद लिक्विडिटी स्ट्रेस आया, बैंकिंग सेक्टर में आया, फिर कोविड चल रहा है 1-1.5 साल से। उसके बावजूद भी हमारे जो NPAs हैं वो बेकाबू नहीं हुए और उनको हमने संभाल के रखा। और शायद जो हम टेक्नोलॉजी के बेसिस पे हम जो प्रोसेस करते हैं उससे हमारे को लाभ मिला कि हमारी अंडरराइटिंग बेटर है दूसरी कंपनी से। और तीसरी बात, क्योंकि हमारे पास कोई बहुत बहुत बड़े बड़े कोई बिल्डर लोन्स नहीं है, सिर्फ 4% प्रोजेक्ट लोन्स हैं, जिसकी वजह से हमारे को काफी हम ठीक रहे। हमारे GNPA भी इंडस्ट्री से काफी अच्छे रहे हैं। पिछले साल हमें 400 करोड़ का मुनाफा हुआ है, जो हमारे लिए सबसे ज्यादा था। इसके बावजूद इसके कि पिछले साल लगभग 5 महीने तो बंद ही रहा सब कुछ, अप्रैल से लेकर अगस्त तक, पर उसके बाद भी बैलेंस 7 महीनों में हमने अच्छा बिजनेस को बढ़ाया। तो मोमेंटम बहुत अच्छा है इंडस्ट्री के अंदर। इस सेगमेंट को लेके हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी हर महीने हम बेहतर करते रहते हैं और हमारा ये मानना है कि आगे जाके डिमांड और बढ़ेगी और हम इसका लाभ उठा सकते हैं। तो ये जो हम स्कीम लेके आए हैं, ये हमारे अनसिक्योर्ड NCDs हैं जो हमारे Tier 2 कैपिटल में इस्तेमाल होंगी। उससे हम बिजनेस को और ज्यादा बढ़ावा दे सकते हैं और हमारे को ग्रोथ का मौका मिलेगा। ये जो होम फाइनेंस की NCD है, लगभग 7-8 साल के बाद आई है, तो एक बहुत सुनहरा मौका है जहां पे एक अच्छी कंपनी अपना अच्छा काम कर रही है और आपको बेहतरीन इंटरेस्ट दे रही है। तो अगर आप भी इसके साथ शामिल होते हैं तो हम मिलकर इस कंपनी को आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं।
Monu, there is one last question. What would your lending rate be to affordable housing?
जो लेंडिंग रेट है ये 8% से शुरू होता है, लेकिन उसके बाद कुछ क्राइटेरियाज होते हैं, जैसे आपका सिविल स्कोर हो सकता है या आप किस तरीके का काम कर रहे हैं उस पर लिंक होता है। तो ये 8% से शुरू हो जाता है। ये रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट डिपेंड करता है कि आप बाकी पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर, उसके बेसिस पे ये आपका लेंडिंग रेट डिसाइड होता है.
So thank you so much, Monu and Subhajit, and all our attendees, all the participants. We look forward to your support, your continued support to IIFL as a group. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.